Welcome to UC Collaboration, a global name in unified communication, formerly Voice Bootcamp. Hello, my name is Faisal Khan, CEO and founder of UC Collaborations. In this particular chapter, I'm going to focus on the Cisco Unified Contact Center Express Self-Study Kit, how to set up the initial integrations between Contact Center Express and Call Manager. After the initial installation of the Contact Center Express server, we need to integrate with Call Manager by following various steps in a wizard. One of the first thing we need to do is log into Call Manager and create an end user name called UCCX admin or any name you want, doesn't really matter, with a password, in this case Voice Bootcamp. Once that is done, we're going to log into the Contact Center Express with the basic setup account that you defined during the installation, and then we're going to follow the wizard to define various settings related to contact center, such as what codec to use, what language to be used, what is the IP address of Call Manager, so and so. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to log into in the Call Manager part. So in the Call Manager, first you're going to go to admin, user admin, management, click on add users, and we're going to call it UCC. Well, it's the wrong name. UCCX admin. I will also create an application user just to show the difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a, let's call this IPCC admin, just to keep it separate. Alright, so now that I have created two end user accounts, the next step is to log into the Contact Center Express server by going to this particular IP address, which is the IP address of the Contact Center Express server followed by app admin. Once we go into login, we're going to define the installation type, either upgrade or a new, and then choose the license. So when you log in to the Contact Center Express, the first thing it's going to ask you is what type of deployment it is. Is it going to be an upgrade from previous release or a fresh install? If this is the first time that you're installing the Contact Center Express server, select the fresh install. So here's we're going to select fresh install. The next step is to define what is the IP address of your Call Manager and the AXL admin username. This is not the same user we just created. This is an user account in the Contact Call Manager that has admin privilege. Once that is done, we're going to add a license, and in the license we're going to Contact Center Express server comes with 30 days demo license, and this demo license can be used to practice for all sorts of features. You have the enhanced demo license, standard, pre-IVR, and so and so. So I'm going to log into the Contact Center Express server by going to that IP address. Click on Cisco Unified Contact Center Express. Select, well, it did not ask me to log in because I just logged in a few minutes ago. So click next for fresh install. Here we're going to define the IP address of your primary Call Manager, secondary Call Manager, username and password of your Call Manager. Click next. So now you can define the license by going to browse to your folder where the license files are located. So I'm going to use the demo license version 9.0 premium, and then click next. Now it's activating all the services. Once that service has been activated, click on next, which is going to activate all the publisher. Now as you can see, it's already activated, so continue. So here you define the information about your Call Manager. What should be the username of the the IP address of the publisher, subscriber, along with the username and password of the Call Manager. You need to define your JTAP provider, which is in this scenario will be CTI Manager, will be the same as publisher and subscriber. And the prefix that you want to create, JTAP, this is the username that will be used to control the communication between the Call Manager and Contact Center Express server. such as the CTI ports and CTI route point. Below are the information for RMCM. Here you must define the username and password of the account that wants to be created. So these two accounts called JTAP and RMCM will be created by the Contact Center Express into Call Manager. And the purpose of the JTAP user is to manage the CTI ports and CTI route point. But the purpose of the RMCM is to manage the agent status as well as the agent phone. So there are two different purposes for two different tasks. So we're going to talk about these individually later. So go ahead and click next. So now we're going to define how many historical reporting sessions you want to allow, recording count, number of outbound seats. So just keep it default for now, and what codec you want to use. So obviously in the local area network, we're going to select G711. Here you define the language. Now while it's configuring the language, you can go back to Call Manager under user management. Click on Application User. You should see the two user account. For some reason it did not create the RMCM, so you may have to synchronize again. So it's supposed to create another user account called RMCM. So we're going to have to go back and resync to make sure that Contact Center Express does create the RMCM user account. So this is where you define the username. As an admin account. So you notice how the UCCX admin is already selected. You can also go back and click on end user. You should see that there are other user accounts that we have. So let's select few other accounts that we might use it as an admin account. So right now FCON and UCCX is selected. So we're going to select, let's say, pod 1, and then click OK. So far what's going to happen is these three are the admin account administrator of the Contact Center Express server. So click on finish, and that should be the end of the initial integrations of Contact Center Express with the Call Manager. So at this stage what's going to happen is I'm going to log out, and I'm going to try to log in as one of those account. So let's say FCON Boys Bootcamp. Okay, so let me go and check the password. Oh, it's a LDAP account, so that's probably one of the reason. So let's see. So I disabled the LDAP just because my LDAP was causing some problem. So I'm going to log in as UCCX admin, password Cisco. It was set to wrong password. Alright, so I'm able to log in, and as you can notice that it's giving me a license warning as saying that this is valid for only 29 days, so excluding today. So I have 29 more days to practice. So good enough to do a lot of work, and that's pretty much it for these modules. So you follow these instructions to set up all these components, activations, assigning the call managers, defining the codec, the language as we've seen, and then define the last stage as a user account. Now there's one mistake that we have to fix. You go to subsystem, RMCM, and the providers. Remember, it did not create the RMCM provider, so we're going to modify this. And what we're going to do, we're going to change the username to something different. Let's change it to RM user and update. As you can see on the call manager side, it did create the user account called RM user, so it's now able to communicate with the RM providers. So that has fixed the problem, and that will be the end of this particular module.